Obviously high school sweethearts, and I thought we were well on our way to being married and have a family together. In fact, we were engaged when all the shit went down, and at that time I was the happiest guy in the world. One day, out of the blue, without any warning or even a small suspicion on my part, she tells me that she had to talk to me and that I wasn't going to like what she had to say, but she had to say it. She spent about 15 minutes crying and telling me that she would love me forever, but that she felt like we had gotten together too young and she needed to be single for a while. Of course, this confused the shit out of me. What does that mean? So I made her explain to me what she meant. She gave me a whole list of bullshit things about not wanting to have to be responsible for my happiness, wanted to go places without having to worry about me, and other shit that just made me more confused. I told her that she could do any of that right there and right then, and we didn't have to break up for it. I offered to give her space, whatever she needed. Nothing was moving her, so it finally dawned on me to ask her, was this really about wanting to date and see other people? She denied that there was anybody she wanted to date or see, but ultimately yes, she thought it was what she wanted to do. As you can imagine, I was broken by this. She tried to tell me she loved me again, and I just told her to keep it to her fucking self. She then said she wanted to know if I was going to be okay, and I told her that was no longer any of her concern and walked out the door. She tried calling me and sent several texts, but I just deleted them without reading and deleted her on everything. I would love to tell you I was all manly and uncaring about it, but I sunk into a deep depression. That was 3 months ago, and I have not seen or spoken to her since. That is until yesterday. As I pull into the driveway of my house, she gets out of a car that is parked across the street and starts walking towards me. I don't really look at her and start walking in the house because I have nothing to say to her, but she yells out my name, so I stop and just shoot back with, "What?" I whip around and there she stands, and she is very obviously pregnant. I don't know what to say to her, so I just stand there. She said she's sorry for sneak attacking me, but she had been trying to get a hold of me for quite some time and she knew I had her blocked, but that she had to talk with me. I'm not happy to see her. I'm really not happy to see the woman I loved my entire life pregnant with some other guy's kid, and I just tell her that we really don't have anything to talk about, and I turn to go inside. She yells out that the baby was mine, which of course stops me dead in my tracks. Long story short, she said she is 4 months pregnant and that she was about 1 month pregnant at the time she broke up with me but did not know it. She said she didn't really even know or suspect she was pregnant till the 2nd month when she missed her period but had conflicting home pregnancy tests. However, she went to the clinic to get tested there and that it confirmed she was pregnant. She said she spent the next month trying to convince herself to have an abortion but just could not do it. She begged me to let her come in and talk with me. I won't lie, I was probably crueler than I should have been. I told her that I didn't believe that it was mine, that she wanted to go fuck other guys, and that she got knocked up by some guy who wanted nothing to do with her, so she came running to me hoping I would pretend to be the kid's daddy. She of course started crying and she said that she deserved that, but she said that she never even went out with anyone else. I'll try and summarize this as it's already very long. She said that she never went out with anyone else, she never got the chance, and that she was totally honest that she had no one in mind. She said that she believes that being pregnant made her hormonal and that it made her very impulsive, and that the sudden urge to break up with me was just that, a sudden urge. She hadn't been thinking about it. She asked me if I read any of her texts at all. I told her I did not, and she said if I would have read them the next day I would have seen her telling me that she wanted to talk to take it back and knew that breaking up was wrong. Here is where I stand right now after hours and hours of talking with her. My heart was shattered. There is a part of me that just wants so badly to throw away all of my doubts and fears and just take her in and be both a husband and a father. But as much as I want this, I will not be a father to a child that I did not create with a woman who left me to fuck other men. That doesn't mean I wouldn't be a stepdad or something, but I will not do this with someone who knowingly broke my heart. I have demanded a paternity test. Neither of us have a fucking clue how to do this, but she is going to ask her OB/GYN at her next meeting. I don't know if I have to wait till the baby is born or what, but this is something I have to have done for my own peace of mind. She said she is fine with this as there is zero doubt in her mind that it is mine, as she claims to have never been with anyone else. So here are my questions. Let's assume the child is mine, where do I go from here? She gave me a letter she wrote when we were separated, and it is dated about a month ago, and in it she writes about deep regret about hurting me, how much she loved me, how this was the biggest mistake of her life. How do I believe her that she hasn't been with anyone else since she left me? Even if the child is mine, that doesn't mean she didn't have sex with someone else. I know it may make me an asshole. But if that is the case, I don't want her back. Obviously, if the child is not mine, this all becomes a non-issue, because that is an absolute no for me beyond a shadow of a doubt. What do I do with all of this hurt and anger? I want to love my child, assuming it's mine, and as long as everything she says is true, I think I want to love her again as well. But I've had 3 months of sleepless nights, fits of rage and soul-crushing depression. She told me she wants to do whatever it takes to make this work for us. She has offered to pay for couples counseling and is offering any type of transparency I want. Right now my head is spinning. 4 months ago I would have loved to be a father and make this woman my wife. Now I still have those emotions, however they are not intermixed with pain/hurt. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Edit. There are so many responses that I can't really get to them all, so I kind of want to make one addition here in hopes of answering most of this. I read what you all were saying and it was loud and clear that I have issues. I was completely ignorant about hormonal issues, however I have read up a little on it today and I see where this is very possible. Please understand, when I wrote this all I had just gotten done speaking with her and my emotions were very raw and I was very confused. I love her with all of my heart, I know that, I knew that last night. The reason I can't answer all of your questions is because I am on my way to talk with her. I can't let this go. I've been given a second chance with her and this is all I want. I am still going to want a paternity test just for my own peace of mind. I hope she can understand that, even though I know this is going to hurt her feelings. I think I'm just going to have to take a leap of faith and trust that everything she said about it being her hormones and how she never really wanted this. I'm sorry to anyone I offended because I came across as a grade A douchebag. Hello everybody. I wanted to stop back by and give everyone a little bit of an update on what has transpired since this weekend. After talking with you guys and reading, I found out that pregnant hormones can really mess with some people's minds. I went to the apartment where she is staying with a friend and the friend was nice enough to leave so she and I could have a long emotional talk. I'll spare you the lengths and depths of our conversation, but needless to say it was long, painful and filled with crying, mostly by me shamefully. I totally broke down. Any and all pretense of being strong and trying to not let anything bother me was just washed away in a matter of moments by her. She makes me very vulnerable, and while I don't like that a lot, I will say that once I got it all off of my chest I felt like $1,000,000. She was very patient, very kind, and very loving. This was the girl who I have known all of these years. From her end she stated she never went out with anyone else, did have 2 guys who knew we were broken up try and ask her out, but she told the first one that she wasn't ready, and by the time the second one asked her she knew she was pregnant. After hours of talking we ended up falling into each other's arms, and by this time her roommate came back because she had to go to bed to go to work. So she came home with me to continue talking. We ended up making love all weekend, which at first I thought I would be grossed out, to be honest with you, because I've never even thought about pregnant sex before. I would not have even considered it if I thought for 1 second the kid wasn't mine. That, I guess, is the uptake to all of this. I now believe her 100%, and I'll tell you why. She is insisting that we do a paternity test. If she wasn't sure she would probably not want to go through with it, but she says that she has never been with anyone else, and I believe her. So yesterday she had a pre-existing OB/GYN appointment and she set it up so I could go with her. Here is what is so cool. Her doctor is a dude who can't be more than 35 or so, and he was the coolest motherfucker I've ever talked to. I mean, in real life, if I met this guy away from there, he would be a bro of the first order. We went and did the exam and I got to see the baby on the scope. Man, at home that I'm going to be a daddy at that point. After he did the exam with her, he asked her if now would be a good time for the talk, and she said yes. I had no idea what was going on, but she said she wanted him to talk with me and that it was her idea. She left and the doctor and I had a chat. He said my GF had spoken with him about everything over a month ago, and while he wouldn't talk about her medical condition exactly, he wanted me to know the facts about female hormones and how it can impact women. Like I said, coolest guy ever, he broke it down so I could understand it. He also said that she had spoken to him yesterday about paternity testing and they were going to set this up for next week. He said for both of our peace of minds we should just go ahead and do it. He also spoke for a few minutes with me about how I was feeling and even shared a story about how he and his wife nearly separated over a pregnancy-related issue. I left that day filled 100% confident that this is a relationship I want to work to have. I honestly now think she just had a crisis of bent-up frustration/hormones and emotions, and she didn't even know why she was having them. I just got done moving her stuff back to my house about an hour ago. When she gets off work tonight, we are going to embark on our journey to make this work. I am not going to rush things because either of us may have built up emotions that we don't even know yet, but I have a ring already, and if all goes well for a month or two I am going to ask her to marry me. Next step, telling my parents they're going to be grandparents and that we're back together. That'll be an adventure in itself.